Hi, how are you? Welcome to Grandma Ray Don't Play, and I'm Rachel. So I'm waiting for you guys to notice that I'm on, and if someone could let me know that you hear me, we will get started. How about that? I am happy, happy, happy to come to you today. I see one person out there. Can you hear me? Two. Wonderful. Welcome, family. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I see four. Can you guys hear me? Okay, let me make sure my chat is open. Okay. If you can comment and let me know that you hear me, that would be great. So far, I'm not seeing anyone comment. Oh, great. Let's get started. Junia, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I'm sorry. Hello. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. Chuck, hi. Beverly, oh, wonderful. I'm glad you guys hear me. I am happy to be back with you all tonight. I think I'm liking the live sessions. Okay. So we have a juicy topic to discuss tonight because we know that President Biden has not made the final decision on this third stimulus, and we want to put our input in because we really, really want them to know where we stand with this. And you'd be surprised who's listening on YouTube because they're all on here. So your comments can go out and be registered so that they know how you feel. Okay. Okay, so our subject is let your voice be heard. We want to let the government know why people need $15 an hour wage increase, or maybe you don't want them to have a $15. Maybe you have a different opinion. So I'm waiting to hear from you. So I'm going to start out with some of the things that I wrote down, a little food for thought, okay? The proposal is a $15 minimum wage increase. Uh, the next thing I want to know, is it a job killer or not? Do you think because they raised the minimum wage to $15 that that's going to cause people not to get work? Chuck is here. Chuck is saying, hi, Ray. Here's my take on minimum wage. If you work and still qualify for a SNAP program, then we still have welfare for the corporation. Okay, Chuck. Well, unfortunately, we have all different scenarios out there in regards to people's income. So I guess we got to kind of generalize whether we want it for the country or the $15 an hour for the country or not. Uh, and what is your take on that, Chuck? Because we to look at the SNAP program and who's on that. There's millions and millions of people out there, and we don't really know who's on what. So we'll talk about in general for the country. What do you feel about? Do you want $15 an hour minimum wage for the country, Chuck, or are you against that? Now, the next thing come into play. Can you pay your rent at the current wages, which is $7.25 an hour? And this has been going on for over a century. People making $7.25 an hour. Now we know everybody don't make $7.25 an hour, but there are obviously many people that make $7.25 an hour. That's why they want the President Biden is putting in a proposal to change that. Okay, Chuck is saying history has proved that minimum wage raises do not cause job loss. I definitely believe for the country. I agree. I don't think the reason why I don't think it costs job loss is because these businesses are not going to shut their door because they have to shell out more money. Now they may make some other adjustments, maybe they'll uh not not do a current renovation that they had planned, or maybe they might cut out one or two jobs, but they're not going to cut them all out. And so I think that it is not going to close businesses down. I think if anything, it will help them get a better employee, because employee is that's making enough money to actually live is a good thing. What do you all think about that? Beverly, what do you have to say on that? Chuck says, I was a landlord for 25 years and the answer is no. That's why we have rent subsidies. Again, welfare for the rich and corporate. Well, Chuck, I was a landlord for 30 years, and everybody don't have rent subsidy. There are rent subsidies out there, but it's hard to get the rent subsidy. And so it's a lot of people who are struggling. There are people who are living beneath their desire because that's all they can afford. And some can't afford that. Some are just homeless, you know? So what do we think about that? Okay, can a person at $7.25 pay a weekly grocery bill? I mean, what is their grocery bill looking like in the store? Really? I mean, what are they buying? You can't even go to McDonald's and get a meal for $7.25. The last time I checked at McDonald's, that's about $12 or so. That it's crazy. So what do? So you need 2 hours of work to eat one meal at McDonald's, and then what do you do after that? Chuck says, yes, I agree, Ray. Absolutely. It's a shame. It's absolutely a shame. And what do you guys want to say to Washington, D.C. tonight? How are you going to get your message across? How do you pay a car note at $7.25 an hour? When you go to get a loan, which a car note is a loan, the first thing they want to do is they want to see your pay stubs, okay? And then the pay stubs and your credit tells them how much money you can buy a car for. So you can't buy a car that's $500 a month at $7.25 an hour, because that's just not going to financially work out. So they're not going to approve that. So you can see where you have this dilemma. And even if you are able to get a car, let's say you save your tax return or something and you get a car, what are you going to get? A hoopty-doopty? And when that breaks down, where are you going to get the money to repair that? Credit card debt. Now, some people who are living on the $7.25 an hour may have credit card debt. Well, they may get the credit card, but they won't keep it long at $7.25 an hour because they're just not making enough money to pay all the bills. And the first thing that's going to go is the credit card. They're not going to pay that. Chuck says, Ray, I have a friend that works in county government. She makes about $27,000 a year. She eats the Amen noodles. Okay, has to lease a car for no more than $150 per month. Yes, you see that? And even the lease car place, they get you because, in order to get out that lease, they're going to go through the car, inspect the car, and any little thing they want to add up on you. And she can't afford that, right? So she can't even, working for the government, she can't even buy a car. She has to do the lease because that's what she can afford, the $150 a month. And she's eating noodles, guys. Eating noodles. Now that's ridiculous. Working for the government. You see what I'm saying? While others that work for the government, they're making thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a year. Okay. But they can't see helping people beneath them so that they can live too. Because, you know, we're all God's kids and we all deserve to live an affordable life. And we're not asking to live a scrumptious life where we can splurge on everything. We just want the necessities and enough cash to not stress out over money. Can you support children on $7.25 an hour? Now, how is that possible? You know, because, you know, you got to buy the children the clothes, you got to feed them, you know, there's other expense, they get sick, you got to go to the pharmacy and pay up on that. What are you guys thinking about that? Okay, daycare. Now, people who are on $7.25 an hour cannot afford to pay daycare, even with the subsidy, because when you take the daycare fee out after the subsidy, if they have the subsidy, that's all they can do is pay daycare. You know, so these jobs need to step it up, and pay up. You know, what message do you guys want to send to the government today? So forget about going to college, because you're not going to be able to, you may be able to go and get a grant, but you know, if you mess around and get one of those loans, you can hang it up. You're not going to be able to pay that back, because now that has you burdened for the rest of your life. And guys, whatever you do when you go to college, please do not take the student loans. That is a trap that you will never get out of. The interest rates rides on. They don't care if you're out of work, if you're poor, if you're hungry. They don't care. You have to pay that loan back. I wouldn't go for that again if I had a chance to do it a second time round. I did it, and I'm telling you from experience, do not get the student loan. Try to work around the clock if you have to, but do not get the student loan. Chuck says, when her boss went to the country supervise, when her boss went to the county supervisor to get them a raise, she brought up that 37 people had filed for bankruptcy in the courthouse building in 2009. Well, I guess so. Come on, you're not paying them enough money. Of course. What else are they going to do if they can't pay the bills? And then they got to claim bankruptcy in order to clean up their credit, right? They're trying. At least they're trying. People who are not trying, they don't even file bankruptcy. They just say, forget it. So at least she's trying. Jania says, the politics got the PPL vote. Now keep your promise. That's true. The politicians got our vote. And so this is why today we are speaking out. Please, guys, register your complaint with me so that they can see it. Don't worry, YouTube is live, so they'll be able to see it so that they know how you feel about it. I want to hear how you feel about it. Chuck says, here's a fact I'll throw at you. 85 people own half the wealth of the world. Betsy DeVos holds massive amounts of student debt. True. And you know what? They do 85 people own half of the wealth, Chuck says. And that's true. But you know what? At this point, we got to figure out how to get ours, right? Maybe we can get some of theirs. How about that? Because it's not fair that 85 people own everything in the world financially and leaving the rest of us to suffer. I don't think that we have to suffer like this. And I think that the government needs to step up. And then once the government steps up, you might can step up and help yourself, because when you're in a hole, you can't get out the hole unless you dig out the hole. And you need some help to dig out that hole. I agree with you, Chuck. I agree. Okay. How much money weekly is a haircut? Now, you guys go to the barbershop. I know people that go to the barbershop every week, and I think that they go to the barbershop every week. Number one, of course, to look good, but also it's a community at the barbershop, and they talk about issues like this. And that the cut is probably, I'm guessing, $10, and then you got to tip them and maybe $5. So that's $15. So if you was making $7.25 an hour, you would have to pay the barber 2 hours of what you earn. Now that's crazy. That's crazy. And the barber, how much money is he making? Because he's dependent on your loyalty to come in there to support him. It's all about what we want to say and do. And I know our voice is small, but you know what? We can do it. Look at what we did to for the voting time. We showed up. So this is a time for us to show up, guys. Show up. Your cell phone. Oh, how much does that cost? I know people. The bill is $50. And then they're buying the phone, which is another $50. That's $100 a month for a cell phone. You have to have a cell phone because that's your means of communication these days, a means to get to a job, a means for anything. So, your cell phone bill is $100 a month. It's just not adding up. It's just not adding up. So let's do the math. Let's say you made, for the sake of this conversation, $7.50 an hour, and you work 40 hours a week. 40 hours a week is $300 before taxes. And if we took out $60 for taxes, you're down to $240 take home a month. That's crazy. No, I'm sorry, a week. $240 take home a week. Now, out of that $240, you're living somewhere, so you got to pay somebody some rent. You may not have your own apartment. Maybe you're sharing a place with your sister or something like that. You have to eat. You have to share a light bill, a gas bill. So you can see right away that they're in the poverty line, right? How many of you out there feel like you're in the poverty line? Randy. Hello, Randy, my friend. Hello, Randy said, hello, Grandma Ray. Finally caught a live stream. Yes, Randy, I'm getting brave these days. Randy, how do you feel about them raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour? Do you think that people should get that or not? Okay, so how would a $15 minimum an hour affect employers? We discussed that already. Okay, let's talk about the PPP. That's in the stimulus package. Now, I know it may not apply to everyone, but let's say that you drove for Lyft or Uber. You should consider applying for this. Let them tell you no. Because if you apply for that and you get, let's say, $1,000, because even if it's just you, the employee, that's an employee, that's all you need. And let's say you get $1,000. You might get more, but let's just say you get $1,000. Well, if you take that $1,000 and multiply that, divide that up in between how much you make an hour, you can see you can get an hourly boost yourself temporarily. Okay. And thank God for the hustle you did in keeping that business, because it could pay off now. That's something that I want to encourage you all to do. Look into that PPP loan, because it's for, they say, small business people. Let's put them to the test. I hope everybody's giving a thumbs up in the chat. That would be great. Okay. Junifer says, I purchased clippers to cut my son's hair myself. However, I could do myself and save. Yes, it's a lot to do and must focus and go get it. Communicate with people. Ask questions. I agree. And that's good for you. You cutting your son's hair. Randy says, yes, definitely. But it's going to raise the cost of everything, I fear. It's going to be very hard on small businesses owners, but seriously, who can live on minimum wage? Well, I'll tell you something. I think that I agree, Randy. It is going to be hard on them, but like everything else, they will adjust if they want to stay in business. They'll adjust. We had to adjust. Everybody that's making minimum wage had to adjust, so they can adjust. Let's be real about that. The people need this right now. Becky says, Mississippi here. Hey, Mississippi's in the house. All right. Welcome, Mississippi. Is this your first time on my channel, Mississippi? Randy said the current minimum wage. Yeah, the current minimum wage is $7.25 for the last decade. Now, you're going to tell me the cost of living didn't go up in a decade, for real? No, they just been getting away with it, having us really act like we're still slaves, or we're to be used. It doesn't matter who you are, we're to be used. Becky says the angry prepper. Okay. Becky says yes. Randy says yes. I agree with you. Yes. Now, the last minimum raise was a decade ago, we discussed. Florida just gave the go for a $15 minimum raise hike, and that will be by 2026. So let's talk about the date, guys. So even though they may say $15 an hour, it's all not going to come at one time. They're going to break that up so that businesses and stuff have a chance to adjust. I hope everyone could please give a thumbs up that's in the chat. That would be great. Okay. If the $15 an hour passes, that would also push other hourly rates up. Okay, so let's talk about that. Maybe you may say, "Oh well, I make more than $15 an hour now, so I don't care." Oh, hold up. You might want to care, because if the minimum wage goes to $15 an hour, and let's say you're making 18, well, a job can no longer attract you at $18 an hour, because that's only $3 more than the minimum wage. You see? So that's going to cause them to go up higher on your wage. I hope you all getting that point. Okay. It changes their whole mindset. Okay. And only thing that's going to happen is going to dig into their profits. They don't have to have 90% clear profit and you have none. No, they need to share in this wage increase. Okay, Becky is saying the angry prepper said on his channel that the Great Reset will happen. It is in Agenda 21. We will own nothing and be happy. I started writing before I could finish. Sorry. Oh, that's okay. But we can have the final say. Okay. We don't have to sit back and say nothing. You guys are speaking out right now. we can have the final say. And if you don't say nothing, then you can't say nothing later, right? So we have to say something. We have to do something. You know, let's pick up the phones and call our politicians. Let's pick up the phone and call the senators and everybody that you can call so that they get the message why you need the $15 an hour. We really need more than that, really. But that's where they want to start. Becky says, God is in control. Yes, he is, Becky. Yes, he is. Kenneth is saying, okay, Kenneth's message just went. Maybe it'll come back. Okay, so, when people get these raises, it is going to lift their spirits. Let's go right there, okay? So you know how when you don't have money, let's say all you can do is pay whatever your portion of the rent is. You might order and get you some takeout food when you first get your money or something, and then after that, you in depressed mode the rest of the time because you have no more extra money to splurge, to eat, to do anything. That can really depress you, you know, and a increase would get a lot of people out of the depressed mode. If everyone could please give a thumbs up who's in the chat, that would be greatly appreciated. Okay. Juna says entire federal trade payment system crashed. When did that crash? Was that today? Kenneth says, what happens if a business gets all lower wage earns and loses the higher earners with more experience? Well, I think eventually a business is going to profit, even if they lose someone, and because maybe they have to let someone that they're paying more money go. And they have to hire someone that they can pay less. I think if you give people a chance, some of them are going to show you that they can really work out and they can prove that they can do the job, and you could be just as happy. You just have to have an open mind. The open mind is the business has to survive, and the pay increase is going to be a shock for a minute, but look how you're going to lift people's lives. Oh my goodness. And Junitha says there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Yes, it is. It always is. But, you know, we need to just worry about what's going on with us. And what's going on with us is we're in poverty. That's what's going on with us. And Randy says, all of us need to speak up. Seriously, I live on SSI and I can barely make it. $794 a month is my pay. Now you see, now one of the things that could do is, let's say a senior citizen, which I'm a senior citizen, guys. I don't know if everybody knows that or not, but I am definitely a senior citizen. So let's say a senior citizen go out to work because they have to, because they can't make ends meet. You know, maybe they're on a fixed income, like Randy just talked about. You know, at least they can look forward to getting $15 an hour. That would make life a lot better for them, a whole lot better for them, right? So we got to look at things like that. And even the SSI and Social Security, that's a problem. That's a problem, because why are they giving anybody $794? They know that is a hard thing to manage. So the only way you can manage that is you got to live with somebody, and you can't make no mistakes financially, none. You have to spend every penny wisely. Randy, I know you can tell them about that, you know, and hope that no emergency come up. It's awful. It's really awful. They need to fix SSI and Social Security too. Okay. Juna says Federal Reserve. Oh, what happened to the Federal Reserve? Could you please let me know that? I'm very interested in that. And Becky is saying, I live alone since my husband passed, and I do live in the country, so I will be planting my garden. That's beautiful, Becky, and that's actually healthy. But even the seeds cost money. I had a garden for 5 years. I had to buy the soil because you got to replenish the soil. I had to buy the seeds. That costs money, but at least she can eat off the harvest for a long time after that. Just keep pushing on, Becky. Becky says, how are you going to have jobs when they are letting people come from the border? Okay, well, guess what? The people that are coming from the border, they're doing the jobs we don't want to do. They're out there in the field. They're maybe doing cleaning or something like that. People that I know about, they come over here and the first business they get is a cleaning business. Okay. And they go clean these offices and businesses at night. And they immediately become self-employed. And the reason why they become self-employed is because they can employ others that they know so that they can at least give people jobs. If everyone could give a thumbs up that's in the chat, that would be great. Thank you. YouTube likes that, They want you to give the thumbs up. That means a lot to YouTube. It moves me up so that you can see me because I'm over here working hard for you. I did my homework and we are going to definitely let YouTube know we're here and we're fighting. We're fighters. We're fighters. Family, we're fighters. Okay. Randy said, I have not $1 to waste. After I pay my bills, I have $20 to $50 a month left. My car is 20 years old. No cable. I don't even own a TV, but I always have on no loans and credit card debt. Okay, you guys, that's a lesson right there. So Randy knows that his income is limited, and so he's not trying to get into the credit card debt. Good idea. Credit card is a problem if you know for a fact that you could only pay the minimum. That right there tells you that's a problem. So don't even go there if you can't pay the minimum. Okay. And Randy is saying that he has $20 to $50 a month left. $20 to $50 a month left. Oh, that is crazy. Now, they need to increase Social Security and SSI. That really, he can't afford to have no extra bill come up. None. Kenneth says, sometimes you can find the garden soil for free. I have found it in the free section of Craigslist. Okay, there's a tip for you, Becky. That's a good idea, Kenneth. See that? We're sharing how to survive. That's what it's all about, guys. Jonathan says, the people that come over here do what we BLK used to do. Live together and work together. Well, you know what? I think that that's great. My problem with my family and families I see is, maybe they're not pulling together. Not maybe, they aren't pulling together. And, people worry about stupid stuff like, oh, she don't like my shoes, or she's always looking at my man, or some dumb stuff. Forget that. You need to be worrying about how you're going to survive. That's what it's all about. Because if you can't survive, nope, you're going to be not have none of that. Okay. Becky says, I owe nothing. Also, I feel like letting someone live with me for safety reasons with it is just because being me. I would help me and someone else. Okay, Becky. So I'm going to suggest to you, if you go to church or you go to some kind of community events, that you need to maybe pass the word out, put a posting up, and see if it's someone that you might could live with. You know what I mean? I wouldn't maybe get a teenager, because that's not going to work if you're not a teenager. But if you're a teenager, that works. So like people sometimes think alike. And I think by sharing with each other, that is going to make the difference, really make the difference. Juniper says, Kenneth Jones, thanks for info. Okay, thank you. Service is starting, must close. All right, enjoy, Jill. Keep your word. Thank you. Kenneth says, you're welcome, Junitha. Oh, that's nice, Kenneth. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so if you could get more money, $15 an hour, you can build self-esteem. You can help people to pay their rent, gas bill, light bill. I don't suggest cable. I think cable is the biggest ripoff, and you can just go on my channel and put in Grandma Ray Don't Play, cut the cord, and you'll see all what I'm talking about that. It's just a complete ripoff, and it's just not worth it. Okay. Now, what would you do if they passed the $15 an hour wage? What would you do? Would you consider, if you're not working, going to work? Would that encourage you? Would you consider going to your job? Let's say you're making, I don't know, $16 an hour. Would you consider asking your job for a raise? Because now, obviously, you got a bargaining. You can go and search other jobs out, because people are going to raise the wages all the way across the board. They're going to have to. They have no other choice once you're starting at 15. Okay, and you have experience. Becky says, I am 59, so I would like a mature adult that can help me and I can help them. People are hurting bad now. Okay, Becky, we don't want you to put your address on this site right now, but if you could just tell people what town and what state that you're looking for help in, and if someone reaches out to me, you can email me your let's see. You can email me your phone number. My email is on my website, or I have a P.O. box. If you don't feel comfortable emailing, you can send me a letter to the P.O. box. And then if someone reaches out, I'll be able to give you that information. That's one way we can help one another. And I'm going to suggest that you guys, if you have kids that are suffering, maybe you can consider living with your kids, or your kids living with you. I really think that it's time for us to pull together, because if I make 15 and you make 15, we could probably go places for real. It's something to really, really consider. Becky says, thank you. You're welcome. I hope that, if nothing else, guys, that we look back at the beginning of next week, or whenever they do this next stimulus, and say that we're glad that we put our input in. That meant a lot, a lot. And by the way, guys, anybody that did not get their $600 stimulus check from December, the federal government IRS decided that now you got to put in a claim on a tax claim. Like, you got to file taxes, even though you may not make money to file taxes. You have to file taxes to claim that this year. I think that's awful because they know that's going to cost you, but maybe you can find someone that can do the taxes for free for you. Okay. But by all means, do that. And if you didn't get a check for your child, you know, you got to also put a claim in for that by filing your taxes for 2020. I want to stress that over and over and over. I'm not stressing it enough because there's lots of people who didn't get that $600. I didn't get the $600. Okay. And that's what they're requiring for us to do. Now, my take on that, as I said before, I think that's because when December came, it was too close to tax time, and the IRS said, hey, we're not going to be doing all this work. Let's just do one check. So that's what I think is going on. Randy says, I have company. We'll watch the rest later. Thank you, Grandma Ray. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Randy, and thanks for all your input. And may God be with you and your sons. Okay, so if everyone that's in the chat give a thumbs up, that would be great. So at the end of the rainbow, guys, and they announce, and oh yeah, one of the problems is the senators. The senators, they are the number one problem when it comes to saying no to helping the people. What do you all think about them? You know, I think that that's awful that they are so worried about a budget. I don't know why they weren't about a budget when they got our soldiers in foreign countries fighting wars that's not ours. They can find money to go to the moon and everything else. But when it comes time to taking care of the American citizens, they have a problem with that. Okay. I don't understand why they have a problem with that, other than the fact that they don't want you to get ahead and meet up with them. That's the problem. Becky says, I did not get anything, but my husband was a pharmacist, so he left me in a good position. I am thankful for that. Well, praise God for that, Becky. That is beautiful. But file still, you know, I don't care if you get $1 million, file still, as long as you're under that income threshold that they say you have to be under, which is $75,000 a year. Okay, and get that. And if you don't need it and you don't want it, maybe you can bless someone else. Let's pass it along. Bless them, bless them, bless them, bless them. Okay, Prima Donna says, small businesses will be put out of business. Let the big corporations pay $15 an hour. Well, unfortunately, we can't discriminate which business should pay and which business shouldn't pay. They do have in this next stimulus package all kind of money for small businesses this time. So hopefully they can get some of that money and survive. But the bottom line is we can't worry about any business. We got to worry about, you know, our children, our niece, our nephew, our grandkids, yourself. These are the people that we have to worry about, because at the end of it all, if they don't have it, they may have to come to you. And if you don't have it, where do they go? See? Becky says, yes, ma'am. Okay, great. So yeah, I'm not really feeling sorry for the businesses. I love them. I want them to stay around, but in the same token, I'm more worried about the haves. You know, I wrote a poem one time, and it was called The Haves versus the Have-Nots. The haves versus the have-nots. So the haves, you know, they drove fancy cars, they lived the life, they took vacations, they looked down on people, while the have-nots could barely survive, could barely pay their rent, could worry about if they got sick and was out of work, how was they going to make it after that? with the money crunch going on from the missing income. So it's always been the haves versus the have-nots. And we may be the have-nots, but you know what? This $15 could help lift us up. This $15 could take the burden off of us. This $15 could maybe help you start your own business one day because you get out of poverty. Yeah, the have-nots can rise on that. Absolutely. Okay, so is everyone giving a thumbs up in the chat? Please. Okay, so, the one thing that I want to give you my own personal experience. I retired 3 years ago from work. And I thought I was going to be able to make it with my retirement. Well, after I finished paying all of my bills, I was down to $200 left over for the month. And that included my food, gas for the car. God help if something happened and it had a breakdown or something. I had a hoopty-doopty car and anything else. And it just, and I was really, really always worried about money and depressed, and it just didn't work. And so I says, well, you know what? If I can get up out of this bed, I don't care what pain is hitting me. I don't care about anything. I'm going out this door and I'm going to go get me a job and I'm going to work. And every day, I'm telling you, it's a struggle. It's a physical struggle when I get up. But every day I put one foot in front of the other and I go head on. Because you know what? I learned from that struggle of the $200 a month that I just didn't have enough. And it's because, I didn't make big money years ago. So, your past is always going to dictate your future. So that's why we need the past for others to change now so that their future can be brighter. Okay? Okay, Kenneth says, people were working for $100 per day back in 1950. Okay. Well, Kenneth, that's a lot of money in 1950, $100 per day. Okay. Well, they were really, really well off. But that wasn't the average person. In 1950, it was hard times because I was reading something a while back how people was really, really farming and struggling in 1950. Becky says, we have to all work together. Yes, we do. We have to work together. We have to support each other. That's number one. One of the problems is we don't support each other. We break each other down sometimes, but we have to support each other. I give the word of the day on my channel because I could say anything, right? But I want to lift somebody's spirit. I want to give you some food for thought. I want to be able to leave you with something that helps you. That's the idea of the word of the day. And there are times when I do a video and I forget to give the word of the day, in a mix of everything. And then people will say to me right away, oh, Rachel, you didn't say the word of the day. You forgot the word of the day. You know what I mean? Because people need that. Okay. Okay, Becky says, I wish I was Amish. They have to have it together and they don't depend on the government. Well, that's good. And hopefully we can get to that point. Okay, Kenneth says, I like the word of the day from Grandma Ray. Oh, wow. Thank you, Kenneth. Kenneth, can you elaborate on what does the word of the day do for you when you hear it so that others maybe can see the point of the word of the day coming from a subscriber? Very nice. See, that makes me happy. And, sometimes I really think about what I'm going to say for the word of the day. And sometimes I just say it off the top of my head. Other times I really put some thought in it. I said, what do the people need to hear today? Right? That's very, very important. Okay? Yes. And if nothing else that we can do, we can pick up that phone and leave a message for these senators and these politicians and President Biden and all these people, letting them know that, we want change. If you don't want the $15 an hour, do it for your kids, do it for your niece, do it for your nephew, but do it because, everybody will adjust, including the business owners. Okay. Look at people like Walmart. Up until recently, wasn't even giving people $15 an hour. Come on now. You think these people Walmart not making money? They are. Okay. Kenneth says, I like the word of the day from Grandma Ray. Kenneth said, the word of the day is uplifting. Wonderful. That's great. Oh, that gets right to my heart, Kenneth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's what I like to do. And you guys lift me up. Let me tell you, because there's not a day go by that I don't think about you guys and what I need to do for you guys. And whether I'm tired or not, I try to show up when at all possible, because I know that you guys are out there looking for me. And, I feel like this is my gift to give back to you guys. And that means a lot, a lot. And I thank you for being there for me. Oh, it's just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Okay. If everybody that's in the chat could give that thumbs up, that would be great. It was nice seeing my videos this week. This is my third live stream. And so I'm seeing some results, and I'm seeing the results from you guys giving that thumbs up. That means a lot to YouTube and to me too. And I love you guys because you guys are there. You're the listening ear. You keep me in track. Okay. You keep me on my toes all the time, all the time. Okay. Oh, Rome Bob says, love you, Grandma Ray. Oh, I love you back. I love you back. And if nobody told you guys today that they love you, I love you. Okay. And I look forward to serving you. Yes, I do. It is just a great, great feeling. We all have to figure out what we're on this earth to do. All of us are on a mission, whether you know it or not. So your mission could be showing love to pets, or your mission could be help raising your grandkids, or your mission could be shining on a job to get them over. I know what my mission is. My mission is people and serving people. So whether I'm serving you through the food or whether I'm serving you through the word, that's my mission. And so I want to be able, when I pass, that for God to say, good job, Rachel. Your good deed has been done. And that's my mission. Becky says, you are so right about uplifting each other. The government is trying to tear us apart. Oh, they are. And the way they're trying to tear you apart, I hope you all remember, when it's time to vote, who was against the stimulus? Who is saying no to people getting $1,400? Come on now. Are you serious? Like, really, is the $1,400 going to make you rich? It won't even pay some people's rent. So really and truly, and it's not like they're doing it every day, and they're not. Okay, they can do that. You pay taxes. whether you work or you buy laundry detergent and you pay tax on that, you pay taxes. And so you got to write when the chips is down, which these chips are down for everyone due to this sickness that's going on nationwide. And you deserve a helping hand. Deserve it. Kenneth says, Becky says, I'm so glad I found your channel. I am happy that you found me too, Becky. Okay, and Kenneth says, I know that people don't ask this on chats usually, but Grandma Ray, is it okay to send you a money order with the Grandma Ray name? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And my P.O. box is on my channel. If you see that, let me retract that. In case I run into a problem, you can put my name on the check. Okay. Let me tell you why. The bank said that I couldn't have a bank account in Grandma Ray Don't Play until I do 2 tax returns. And I am going to be doing my second tax return this for 2020 this year. But I probably won't have all of my papers and stuff together until close to April 15th. So for now, you can just send it in my name, okay? And if you email me, I'm gonna email you my name, and I can also put the PO box on there so you have it all on one, and I'll send that back to you. Okay, great, thank you so much. That is so nice. Oh, I have GoFundMe, Kenneth, also, so you can send it through there too. I have GoFundMe and I have Patreon. Okay. Oh, this is wonderful. Hey guys, look, if it's anything that I can do, and you never know, because we will help us one for the other. You just send me a word, like a comment. You know, maybe you need prayer, or maybe you're in dire straits. You just don't know. Okay. And Grandma Ray is like that. Okay. All right. So I think my name, Grandma Ray, is really good for me because I like to mother people. I don't know why, but that's my nature. So I like to mother people. And so when I say mother them, I mean I care about them. I want to look out for them, all that good stuff. If everyone can give a thumbs up that's in the chat, that would be wonderful. Okay, Mary, I love your channel, Grandma Ray. I have been watching you for about a year. Wow, great cooking. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Mary. I am happy you introduced yourself to me. And is there anything that you guys want me to cook, or anything you want me to do different? What do you think? You just let me know. Okay. And I'll try my best. I really will try my best. Okay. Okay. So, I think that we are going to give them a run for their money for the $15. I want you to call all your friends, call your family, call everybody and tell them, say, hey, look, let's call our politicians and put the pressure on them, because, my grandson needs the $15, or I need the $15. So imagine this. Let's say a senior citizen have to go out to work. Okay. And let me encourage every senior citizen that want to go out to work. You can do it. You can do it. I'm telling you, you can. You may not be fast as someone else that's working there. Maybe you have somebody in their 20s or 30s or 40s, and they can work circles around you. That's okay. if you get hired, that means you got some qualifications that they seen that you can do. Okay. And you can make it. Okay. And tell them like I tell them, no, I'm not you, but I'll get the job done. That's what I tell them. Okay. Yes, yes. So you can do it. I'm telling you. Now, I'm not going to say that when you get home, you're not going to go and collapse. Oh, there are some days I come home and I go straight to my bed. Okay, because I'm 67. I'm not a teenager. You know what I mean? But hey, I can do it. I can do it. Just give me a chance and I can do it. And I feel good about it later too. Okay, let's see. My last name is Young, Kenneth. Rachel Young. And Mary says, okay, I read Mary's already. Prima Dana. Since my last statement was ignored, I'll request a drop dumpling recipe. What was your last request? Okay, so you want drop dumpling recipe. Okay, so I can do chicken dumpling. Okay, I can make up the dumplings out of flour and show you that. Is that what you want? And what was your last request, please? Let me write that down because I don't want to disappoint you and have you thinking that I don't want to. Let me get a pen. Okay, so I'm going to write dumpling. Okay. Okay. And Mary says, yes, that's a good one. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We can do what we want to do with God's help, right? We can do it if he lets us. And if he don't want you to go to work, then you don't go to work. Okay. But you can figure out other ways where you can make ends meet. You can do something that you think that you can do to help bring some financial help to yourself. Speaking of the landlord, give us, he is not making any more. I want all young people to save their money and buy land. Okay, well, that's good. And they should buy land. But this is the problem. Okay. If they don't pay the landlord, then the landlord can put a lien against their name in the courthouse. And then when they go get ready to get a house or that land, they're not going to be able to do it because now their name is down as not paying their rent. So we have to think about everything that we do. If you don't want to pay rent, you need to move out and go live with someone else so that you don't pay rent and save up the land money that way. But buying land is an excellent idea. Excellent idea. But I only suggest that if you're going to buy land, make sure it already has the plumbing and water on the land already. If not, you're talking tens of thousands of dollars to get that done. And then you still have to put a house on. So that's the only thing I suggest about buying land. Kenneth says, thank you. Something is on its way to Grandma Ray. Oh, thank you, Kenneth. That's so nice of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless. Yes. And, we all need our own place, right? But first, if you're burdened down with a lack of funds, you can't get your own place. That's how they got it designed. So we need to get more money so that we can then think. It's hard to think when you are depressed, when you can't figure out your way, when you trying to figure out when you're going to get the next groceries, how you going to get this car fixed. Oh, and let me talk about getting a car fixed. If everybody could give a thumbs up that's in the chat, that would be great. one of the problems with getting cars fixed, you need to find somebody that is not going to cost you an arm and a leg, because that's another problem. Sometimes we have these cars, but we can't get them fixed because some mechanic wants to charge $65 an hour or something like that. Are you kidding me? Right now, some people are making $7.25 an hour, and you want to charge $65 an hour? No, you need to find a mechanic or someone that fixes cars that can fix that car much cheaper. Okay, Brenda. Hi, Grandma Ray and everyone. Brenda's in the house. Okay, that's another thing that we have to work on. So let me give you an example. I went to the dealer where I bought my car, and I said, they came out. Went for a tire. They came out with a long laundry list of things that I need to get fixed. And when I looked at the tab at the end of it, it said $1,400. Oh, okay. Where's that coming from? It can't come from me. So where's that coming from? So I decided that that wasn't going to work. So I always had my own mechanic. And of course, right away, he pops right into my head because I can't afford that tab right there. And I took it to my mechanic, and he fixed all those. I think it was like 9 different things. He fixed all those things for $480. A huge difference from 1,400 and something. So try to do that, because we got to now start working with companies and people that are working for us. Okay? Don't just accept these high prices and you don't have it, and now you're stressed out over that. Okay? Okay, Becky is saying there are so many people leaving the cities. There are so many people living in their vehicles. I hope everyone will check on the elderly. Yes. And the elderly are the ones that quietly won't say anything. Quietly won't say anything. Even if you ask them, oh, I'm all right, but you got to look and see, and see what's going on. And just if you see they need something, just bring it to them. Because, I can remember my mother. I would go to her house, and she lived like 45 minutes from me. And she would have all this leftover food from like restaurants and stuff in her refrigerator. And I said, Ma, what's going on with all this? And my mother's a really good cook. And she said, oh, nothing. So I figured it out that she was financially strapped, and because she was on SSI. So I said, well, Ma, first of all, we're going to change this. So I made dinners at my house, and I took them down there and put them in the freezer for her, so that she had a meal for every day. And I gave her $100 a month. It wasn't much, but at least I could help her with that. And that made a big difference and all the difference in the world to her. So you guys who for a fact that people are on a fixed income, help them. And if you help them, God is going to help you. And people living in cars, that's true. Look at California. I mean, they're all over the world, but let's look at California. You can't even go to California. They say people are on every street, every corner, tent city, everywhere. Now, you think people want to live on the street by choice? No, they living on the street because they have no other choice. Mary says, I never made more than 10 an hour after 9 years of working, starting at $7.50. Had to stop working because of vertigo, and that and was at 50 years old then. Okay, Mary, thank you for letting us know that. You see that? So Mary is one of these people that was making 750. And how long ago was that, Mary? This is why we have to change this, guys. Kenneth says, I'll say a prayer for all those living in cars and other situations tonight. I might not know who they are, but I can still pray for them. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Kenneth. So true. Thank you so much. Becky is saying there was an elderly man in Texas that froze to death in his recliner. His wife was in critical conditions. God bless the older people that does not have anybody to check on them. That's true. That's really, really true. And we have got to look out for the older people and the younger people. We really do. Because, sometimes you can help, sometimes you can help. It's not like sometimes people make a choice not to help, but you can help. And that's very, very important. And Kenneth, thank you for praying for everybody. And when I end this chat, we're going to end the chat, Kenneth, with you and I and everybody that want to join in and in a prayer, because normally I don't believe I've ever prayed on my channel, but I do give the word, and I think that sometimes people just need that, especially during these hard times. Very, very important. Thank you for giving a thumbs up in the chat. I appreciate that. Okay. Now, let's talk about how you can help others. Kenneth says, hey, Mama Ray, I made it in at the end. Oh, praise God. That's beautiful. Mary says, yes, it is good to help other people when you know they need it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Brenda says, I enjoy your word of the day. Brenda, I know you do. Brenda is one of these people that she will always look forward for my word of the day. And if I forget to say it, she'll let me know that too. And she always comments on the word of the day. Brenda, what does the word of the day mean to you? Prima Dana says, it's wonderful you want to pray with us. It is very important. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Kathleen says, absolutely. How are you doing tonight? Your hair still looks good. Oh, thank you. Well, just so you guys know, right? I got lots of hair that I put on because, sometimes I'm coming from work and I don't have time to do a lot of stuff in terms of my hair and beauty. I never really was like a beauty type person, but my sister got me into doing this, so now it's much easier for me to put some hair on. So I be styling for you guys. Okay. Thanks for the comment. Okay, Mary says, I enjoy the word of the day too. Wonderful. Oh, the word is speaking out tonight. Brenda says, it means that there's someone who cares about us. Oh, I love you, love you, love you, Brenda. So true. I do care about all of you guys. I want you guys to know I care. I really do care. I'm looking straight in the camera. I really do care about you guys. Okay? Kathleen says, looking good, Grandma. Thank you. Mary says, you look beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So what are you guys going to do with your stimulus when you get it? The $1,400. Do you have plans for that? I have some ideas for that. What are you going to do with it? Kenneth says, did anybody tell you that they called 211 from the other night? I called 211 from the other night to check it out. I checked it out myself. And there is definitely help there for your rent, utility bills, and I think about the C-19 information. Yes, I did check it out. And people, if you need help with your rent or your utility bills or any other need like the C-19, call 211 from your phone. Call 211 from your phone. Thank you for that, Kathleen. Mary says, we can tell you care, Grandma. Thank you, Mary. Pamela Dana gave 3 hearts. Kathleen says, pay bills with my stimulus. Okay, that's beautiful. But make sure you save a little, okay, for that rainy day. Mary says, some new clothes. Okay. Mary, you going to treat yourself? That's nice. But don't treat yourself to all of it. Kathleen said, did they give you any help? Well, I just called to get information first. On my day off, I'm going to really sit down and see if they can assist me in any way. But I wanted to get the information so that when you guys want to know, I would have that information. Okay. And I'll let you know if they do anything for me. All right. I sure will let you know. Kathleen said, I'm glad I could help you out. You helped everybody out, Kathleen. Brenda said, save part and get some much needed items. Brenda, you should dial 211 because they're helping with the rent and utilities. So that could save you some money. Also, anyone else? Okay. Mary says, you're welcome. Kathleen says, every day is a rainy day for the disabled sweetheart. Well, there are going to be some days, even if you're disabled, that God, you can wake up, you can have a day where you feel better than other days and you're happy. Happiness is a state of mind. So we got to be grateful for the little things, and then all other things shall be added unto us, right? Mary, no on Clarence. Oh, good. Kathleen says, remember I told you they gave me $1,000 for 2 months worth of rent. Yes, we remember that. And that's what made me call 211. So anybody out there who needs help with their rent, you need to pick up the phone and dial 211 and see what they can do for you. Your rent, your utilities, it's out there. Kathleen is right there. She's letting you know she got $1,000 for 2 months. Anyone that's joining the chat, if you could give a thumbs up, that would be great. Thank you. Brenda said, thank you, Grandma Ray, about advice. Oh, you're definitely welcome. Brenda wanted me to talk on finances. Well, this is definitely finances tonight, Brenda, talking about the $15 minimum wage that we are praying for and that we hope that we all get. Mary said, I gave a thumbs up. Thank you, Mary. That's nice. Thank you. YouTube like the thumbs up, guys. They really do. I think, let me see. I'll tell you right now where I'm at. I'm checking my phone. I'm almost at 18,000 subscribers. I'm at 17,900 and something. Give yourself a hand, guys. You guys rock. You did it. Nobody did it but you guys. And I really, really appreciate that. You guys did it. And I'm so happy when I see that because that lets me know I'm reaching out. Thank you, Kenneth. Kathleen, I'm sorry. Oh, you go, girl. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Grandma is trying. Let me tell you, I'm really, really trying. Okay. So listen, Kenna says, yeah, thank you. Mary said, good job. Thank you. Good job to you guys. You guys do a wonderful job lifting me up and supporting me. And I thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so listen, the other night I made, it's actually, I believe it's on today. It says gluten, it's a streusel gluten-free cranberry cake. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is we need to think about if we're overweight, getting off of some of the flour. Okay, so I wanted to try to see how the gluten flour worked. So I bought some, and that was the first thing that I made. So you say, well, what is gluten? Gluten is the white flour that causes us to gain weight and gain weight and gain weight and gain weight. And we do that because we don't know no better. We always think that maybe the gluten doesn't taste as good as the white flour. Well, I'm here to tell you, you should try that recipe it's on today. You should try that recipe and then taste it and see. I was totally impressed. Totally impressed. So, I think that we need to also eat more healthier if we can. I'm not saying it's going to happen all the time, but if you can cut back, that'll be great. So you know that I'm a diabetic, okay? So gluten is a problem for people who are diabetics. And so now at 67, I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm not saying all the time, but at least if I cut back and I get used to it, I'll maybe cut back some more and some more and some more. So anybody want to join me? Great. I'm going to be doing some more videos, so that I would like all of you all to check out that recipe, and then I want you to make it. Kathleen says, you rock. Kathleen said, I wanted to make that actually. Kathleen says, I'm 56 and I never knew that till you just told me that about the gluten. Yes, problem. So, we know people who say that they have to eat gluten free. And so any white product, white bread, white flour, pancakes, anything white got that gluten in it, which causes a lot of problems. Weight causes problems, right? So, we got to learn to figure out, what whether we want to live or we want to keep eating stuff that is a problem. Okay. Kathleen, thank you for the information. You're welcome. Kathleen, I'm a diabetic too. Okay. See, there you go. And I made it with sugar substitute. So there's the next problem. Diabetics eating regular sugar, which is another white product, is a problem. So, but if you eat it with sugar substitute, now you just can't solve two problems: the sugar problem and the flour problem. Sounding pretty good, right? Okay. I think the streusel though did call for brown sugar. Now brown sugar. I'm going to show you guys how to make brown sugar one day. So I'll leave it at that on that, so that I don't spoil the surprise. Thank you for giving a thumbs up on the chat. Okay. Kathleen said all the stuff that all the stuff that tastes good. Yeah, all the stuff that tastes good is the stuff they want you to eat so that you can keep buying it, right? So you all know last week I did away with the salt. I know you can't absolutely get rid of all salt, because salt is in a lot of products. Salt is in ketchup. Salt is in a lot of products, but you don't have to add salt as a seasoning to create more of a problem. Let's face it, the salt can give you a stroke. You can have heart problems. You can have high blood pressure. You have swelling. Salt is a problem. So I would suggest that you take a look at that. Everybody has to pick for themselves. Kathleen says she really don't use sugar. Okay. Kathleen said, what did you use? Stevia? No, I actually just bought stevia yesterday. I used a my grocery store market basket sugar substitute. Uh but I am going to use stevia from now on because I threw the rest of that in the trash, and now I have just stevia in my cabinet, and that's what I'm going to be using. Kathleen says Miss Dash. So far, I'm not impressed with Miss Dash. But I'm going to try to recreate the Miss Dash myself and see if I can enhance that. And I'm going to, of course, do it right for you guys. Okay? Prima Dane now says, everybody need to watch the Magic Pill documentary. It has helped many living with diabetes and other health issues. Okay, anybody that's a diabetic, she's saying watch the Magic Pill documentary. Let me write that down. Okay, I will watch that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Kathleen says salt free. Oh, you're salt free? Okay, beautiful. Kathleen, try the yellow Miss Dash. Okay, I will. Yellow Miss Dash. Okay. Kathleen said I should write that down too. Oh, please stop and do that. Because sometimes if you don't write it down, you don't remember it. And how can you take action if you don't remember? Kathleen says, thank you. It's very, very important, guys. If, like me, I write myself notes all the time, okay? Because I do forget stuff. And then there are times when I don't forget anything. But you never know which one of those days it is. So I write stuff down, and it's okay to write stuff down because you know what? People who write stuff down, they don't forget anything. They just read their note and they get it done. Okay? That's what writing down does. It helps us. It's like a little reminder. It's your secretary. I love it. I love it. Mary says you have to. Yes, you do. I agree. And don't put the little papers all over the place where you can't find them. Put them in one spot, or get a piece of some tape and tape it on one area of your wall or something so that you can clearly know where that information is. Okay? Absolutely. Kathleen says, on the table next to me. Beautiful. And Kathleen says she has a sticky note everywhere. Oh, there you go. That works. That works, guys. That works. Okay, so listen, guys. It's a pleasure serving. Mary says, I used to write on my palm of hand if I didn't have paper. Kathleen said, have a great night, honey, and everyone else in there. Okay, everyone, we're going to close with a prayer. Is that okay? Okay, you ready? Okay, so Father God, in the name of Jesus, we come to you with love and kindness and tender mercy. We ask you to touch each and every one of us tonight, Lord, everybody in the YouTube family and beyond. And we ask you, Lord, to give us mercy and grace. And if it's your will for us to, in the world, to get that $15 an hour, we ask for that too. And we ask that you go and bless each and every one of us. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Thank God. Amen. Now that's the word of the day. Thank you.